Thank you for the introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sarvesh Mishra, and as being introduced, I'm part of Schneider Electric. Schneider Electric is predominantly known for its energy-efficient solution in control and automation, in building management services solutions, in IT, and also in industry controls. So that's where I'm coming from. The topic of the discussion today was the best innovative practices for businesses. Now, I'm not a management guru who can speak, elaborately on this topic as such. So what I chose over here to elaborate more what we practice in the organization within Schneider. So that was much more appropriate for me to talk about. So that's where I'm just starting from. In Schneider Electric, we have a segment which is known for strategy and innovations. And as in this particular segment, what we do, or in this particular business unit, what we do is we are having 4 key goals. One of them is, or the mother goal is define Schneider Electric strategy, a long-term strategy, wherein we also capture, in this strategy we capture 3 further goals, which is solution and strategy, drive solutions and strategic customer transformations. And we drive innovations through that. And furthermore, we go to drive sustainable developments. So here my key point is that innovation, without being aligned to the strategy of the company, without being able to give you efficient and marketable solutions, and without being able to give sustainable development to the organization, means nothing. So that's where we are going to focus more on, that you can have very many innovative ideas, but how to structure them, how to channelize them through a process, and how to evolve them to a marketable option in front of customers. Innovation is not just about coming up with new ideas. It's just not only about coming up with new ideas. What we mean with innovations is these new ideas should be able to give sustainable, efficient growth to the organizations. You can see in this square box that we in the organizations mostly target relatively high market share. We also target relatively high growth, and whatever in terms of solution or products falls on the left hand topmost box is our star options. But when we look to the when we look to the business, when we look for the innovations, these innovations can come from anywhere, and that's where maybe the 80% of the business is coming from 20% of the solutions or products you have, but innovative ideas normally come from the 80% of the overall organizations. So that's where we look for capturing innovative ideas. We get innovative ideas within the organizations, being given the size of the organizations, from almost all nooks and corners. But how to channelize it? How to create a culture within the organizations to have these ideas captured, to analyze them, and then to materialize them to a successful marketable option. So to do that, what we do, we drive transformations and we drive change in the organizations. That is where we, as a strategy and innovation team, provide supports to various views or various parts of the organizations to have these transformations channelized in the right directions. Also, we encourage global mindset within the organizations, because you can have ideas, but then you have to look at the wider perspective to put that idea in the right perspective. So that's what we encourage within the organizations. We also drive very many collaborative networks in the organizations. We see that ideas are normally coming from every directions, but then if they are not shared, and if there is inhibition within the people or individual not to share these ideas, that's a drawback for the company. So what we do, we have formed various networks within the organizations, a network which can which may talks about, about various line of business activities, and then these line of business activities are shared with other line of business activities. So these are kind of global networks which are formed within the organizations, and where we encourage people coming from different line of businesses and talk to each other and share their ideas and share their processes and what they are doing. So maybe when they are doing this, we see that there is an evolution of lot of new good ideas. So that's where we drive these networks. And the last one is the execution. Whenever these ideas comes to the forum, on the table, then we see that all these ideas actually need supports from various teams in the organizations. Now when that is there, we have to form a project out of these ideas, and then we drive for the fast executions of these ideas. Also within the organizations, you can have various ideas which are coming from all the directions, but is the organization ready for accepting those innovative ideas and then implementing them, executing them, and they are coming out as a product or a solution? So whether the company is capable to do that. For that, we always measure ourselves also within the organizations. First of all, whether there is a strong strategy and planning in place as a process, and whether this has been communicated to all the departments or all the views in the organizations. If that is not communicated, then people will have ideas and they will not know, whether the organization's drive is in this direction or the other directions. So we have to align those ideas also in this, in the aligning with the strategy of the company or what is the planning for the company. Second thing is, you might have various things or various projects coming out as a product and solution, whether the organization has capability to monetize them. You can have various digital ideas, you can have various product ideas, but whether the company has that capability to monetize that, whether the organization has this capability to market them out in the open. So that is where the marketing capability is also one of the key factor we have to look for. Another key factor, or the third one, is the technological process within the organizations. So you can have various innovative ideas, but in terms of processes, whether they are in place to gear or catch on these ideas and then implement in the best possible way to its logical end. So that is one of the key things which we look for. Quality management, of course, without saying, goes over there, because if you don't have a quality management system which is robust, which is able to make the right choices of the product and the solutions, then end of the day the whole idea will fall flat on its face. So that is there. Then coming down to logistics, this is one thing which is one of the conveyor belt wherein all this product or solution which is coming out of good ideas goes out in the market, goes out to the people or to the user end. Whether this logistics system is there in place, how efficient is this system, whether it is geared to take to take these products from different kind of market, for the different kind of markets successfully or not. That's also one of the key things which we always check upon. Not the least, the most important one is the human resources. We always look at that side, that the human resources is one of the key element, because gone are the days, there was a time when there was the industrial age, you have machines, people were only plugging into the machines, giving the output. Now it is a human age. Every individual has a vital role to play with. So we encourage that these human resources are properly trained, they give good exposure, they get good exposures from different kinds, maybe within the organizations and maybe outside the organizations. So that is one of the key element wherein we also monitor ourselves whether we are performing well in terms of maintaining our human resources or not. Then moving forward, looking at the portfolio management of these ideas. What happens that, most of the times, ideas comes because of the benefit the individual can see out of that. Idea comes because somebody is emotionally attached to one of the aspect of the idea. So once we get that, we monitor ourselves, or we rather evaluate this idea versus the resources we have in the organizations. Also what we do, that once we see these numbers of ideas in place, we look what are the long-term ideas, what are the short-term ideas, and then we evaluate how my resources chain is going to be available to me to service these kind of ideas. So that's one of the key thing which we do when we get these kind of innovative ideas. After capturing them, we evaluate them. Then we set the path for tomorrow. So we have to make the right choices. We also have to have a mechanism where we kill the ideas. There could be, very many ideas available, but you have to make the right choice. So once the idea is accepted upon, then it is, there are so many which you have to reject. So you have to have that knack to know that which is beneficial to the organization and which is not. So that's also what we do. Goal. That is the key thing. You always have a fixed goal or maybe a dynamic goal, but you always have a goal and a direction which is there for you. So have a portfolio of the products or the ideas which are going to always align yourself towards the goal of the organizations. So that is one of the key things which we do while we are evaluating the portfolio of these ideas. Dynamic decisions. Things are changing on a very fast way. Things are changing on a very fast path. So what we see that today's good idea may not be a very good idea maybe 6 months later. So there has to be a dynamic mechanism within the organizations to understand whether the idea is still holding good for me today or not. So based on that, based on those choices and based on the decisions, you have to rather eliminate few ideas, you have to take them out of the scope, maybe you have to bring in new ideas, maybe you have to see that whether the resource system is capable to take the new ideas, or maybe you have to just eliminate few to take the new idea which is going to benefit the organization most. And based on these mechanisms, based on the portfolio which we carry, then we move forward to collaborative program management. Because once this idea is being chosen, it comes to the table, then we see that there has to be very many players who are going to make this idea successful. Even the logistics, even the finance, even the industry or the manufacturing, R&D, everybody has to come onto the table and collaborate and has to deliver the output for this idea. Now that is where we encourage a lot of collaborations within the organizations, and also we do not hesitate to go outside the organizations to develop the collaborations. That is also one of the key things to provide a solution to the industry. Once the idea is in, what we do with that idea, we make a business case of that, we make a proposal for that, that is being submitted. So there you can see there are various gates for these mechanism. So there is an in gate, then there is a submit gate, then there is a do gate, and then there is a close gate. Close gate means that it is now commercialized, it can go out in the market as a solution or as a product. So all these phases are monitored at all the levels, and the specific outputs have been calibrated for all these gates. So we have to always monitor that we are not going off the track on these gate stages. Activities were standardized and the indicators of the process performance significantly improve once you monitor yourself on all these gates. So that's one of the key things which we do while going through various kind of innovative ideas. While doing all this, there has been certain evolution which has happened within the organizations. We see that we had user services and technology which was IP based, and we have building services which was non-IP based. So we were able to connect through them using common IP network. So we formed this network connectivity offer, and we were able to develop this to take it to the next stage. So we have taken it to the close gate in that sense. In the offer, if you look at, we have connectors and coppers and fibers, which even one connector is able to meet the requirements of various industries. That's what we plan for, and that's what we have thrived for, and we have been able to achieve. We have all the kinds of networking panels which can possibly one have in the offer, right from a common RJ45 one kind of panel to a hybrid panel which can take copper, fiber, and which can also take video applications over there. Then in terms of pre-terminated offer, we have fiber and copper, both the things, and all of these, or rather most of these, are patented offer from our side. Then another innovation which has led us to the leadership platform is the development of the smart grid, right from the transmission to the distribution and then going to the last mile, which is the consumers. We have solutions, and still a lot of innovations are going through various gates in the organizations, which are making us capable to service the wider smart grid industry. So that's where one of the key leadership which we are actually have gained for, and we are aspiring continuous growth in that. Another thing is a platform which we have developed as which is also output of an innovative idea, wherein the integrations of various kind of services have been brought under one single platform, which is known as EcoStructure. Here we are talking about HVAC, lighting control, access control, video security, electrical distribution, energy monitoring, motor control, IT, renewable energies, all on a single platform, which is known as EcoStructure. This is a soft platform on which, it is, I would say, platform independent, a soft platform wherein you can have various kind of devices which can talk to each other. So that's the idea behind this particular EcoStructure offer. So that's also being, output of capturing these innovative ideas, taking them through various stage gates and then delivering it for the consumer. Then in the sense how the organization is placed to elaborate on various innovative practices, we are partnering already with likes of IBM, Cisco, SAP, which is, exploring outside the organizations what kind of options are there and what all we need to connect over there. Then we are having leading global projects for intelligent buildings, renewable nanotechnologies, boosting standardizations like ZigBee, IEC, NEMA for various applications and home control usage. And then also we are into funding startups. In the sense of the team, we are having some 9,000 R&D engineers, 70 sites in 22 countries. That's a big team to manage, and though it is a very big team, but when you look at the number of ideas which goes to them is much bigger than the size of this team. So they have to be very selective. What we achieve or want to achieve out of that, so that we can be more energy efficient, we can be more environmentally friendly, we can be open and connected, and also available 24/7 on site and remote. So that's the idea, and that's where I was coming from. So thank you very much. Thank you for the time. It was a pleasure talking to you all.